Have you ever wondered what would happen if a security camera could see the future? Well, in one small town, the police department found out, and it was terrifying. They had just installed a brand new top-of-the-line CCTV system. Everything seemed normal until the first night. At exactly midnight, every screen in the control room flickered and began to rewind. But they weren't replaying the day that had just passed. They were showing the day that was about to come. At first, the officers were baffled. They saw minor incidents of fender bender, a shoplifter at the corner store. They dismissed it as a bizarre glitch. But the next day, every single event happened exactly as the cameras had shown. The fender bender occurred at the exact intersection. The shoplifter was caught with the same items. The officers were stunned. This wasn't a glitch. It was a crystal ball. They started using the footage to prevent crimes before they happened. They'd dispatch patrols to the locations shown on the tapes, catching criminals red-handed, sometimes moments before they even acted. The town's crime rate plummeted to 0. The officers were hailed as heroes, protectors who were always one step ahead. They felt invincible, like they had finally conquered crime itself. But their confidence was about to be shattered. One night, Officer Miller was on duty, watching the midnight rewind. He saw the usual petty crimes, but then one screen caught his eye. It showed a dark alleyway and a figure lying on the ground. As the camera zoomed in, a wave of cold dread washed over him. The face was familiar. It was his partner, Officer Davis. The timestamp on the footage was for the next afternoon. Miller's heart pounded in his chest. This couldn't be real. He immediately called Davis, his voice trembling. "Dave, you can't go on patrol tomorrow. Colin's sick. Do whatever you have to. Just stay home." He tried to explain what he saw, but it sounded insane. Davis just laughed it off. "Relax, Miller. It's just a machine. Probably a deep fake or something. I'll be fine." No amount of pleading could convince him. The next day, Miller was a nervous wreck, watching the clock, praying that midnight had lied for the first time. Then, the call came over the radio. "Officer down in the alley behind Elm Street." Miller's world collapsed. He raced to the scene, but it was too late. Everything was exactly as the camera had shown. The future wasn't just a prediction. It was a fixed, unchangeable sentence. The revelation sent a shockwave of terror through the department. The camera that was once their greatest weapon had now become their greatest fear. The officers became obsessed with the midnight rewind, not to prevent crime, but to see their own fates. One by one, they saw their futures. An officer saw himself in a fatal car crash. Another saw a heart attack during a foot chase. The control room, once a hub of victory, became a chamber of horrors. They were watching their own death announcements, scheduled events they were powerless to stop. The police force started to crumble. Officers quit, refusing to see their end. Others fell into deep despair, paralyzed by the knowledge of how and when their lives would be cut short. The chief of police, a hardened veteran, finally made a decision. He walked into the server room, the hum of the machine filling the silence. He thought about all the lives they'd saved, but also the peace they had lost. This power wasn't a gift. It was a curse. With a heavy heart, he picked up a fire axe. He swung it again and again, smashing the servers, the monitors, the very heart of the time-bending machine until it was nothing but a pile of shattered glass and twisted metal. The screens went dark forever. The town's crime rate might go up again, but at least now, the future was a mystery. Once more, and for the remaining officers, living in blissful ignorance was far better than knowing the terrifying, unchangeable truth. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this. See you in the next one.